SwagHer Magazine viewers and good people everywhere. Welcome to an exclusive experience with a woman who didn't just see a problem, she engineered a solution. Today, we are talking about hair, but not just hair. We're talking about freedom. Yes, freedom from complicated routines, freedom from unhealthy products, and freedom to live your life without your natural hair being a full time job. Our guest today is Holland Strong, the visionary behind Coiff Natural Hair Care, a brand born from her own journey of balancing natural hair, a high powered career, and an active lifestyle. She took years of research, trial and error, and created a game changing two product system that simplifies natural hair care without compromising health, beauty, or performance. A survivor of the at home press and curl generation. Yes, that's me too. Mini burns. Okay. I have lots to talk about on that. She knows firsthand the struggle. And today she's here to break it all down just for us. This is another episode of What's Going On with SwagHer Magazine, where we get to talk about it in real time. I'm your host, Tameka Harris Live. Holland Strong, welcome to the conversation. Holland is joining us on audio only. So Holland, the microphone is yours. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Tameka? Good to be here.
I am just excited about our conversation. I'm doing well today as well. And I'm happy to hear about your two product system that we will get into a little bit later on because I don't know. I'm a natural girl, but then the color does something else. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm living my life in the middle of my natural care journey. But at any
Gotcha.
rate, excited to have you here. And let's get started with an icebreaker, shall we?
Sure.
So here's a question for you. I want you to think good, deep, long, and wide about this one, Holland. Now, before we dive into the brilliance of Coiff, let's set the scene. If you had to describe your relationship with your hair in 3 words, past, present, and future, what would they be?
Past would be complex. Present would be no biggie. Future would be sharing a new paradigm with others who may still be experiencing the struggle. Let's put it that way.
Okay, I love all of that. And before we really hop into one question, mention more about the struggle with natural hair care.
Sure. First of all, we have these catch-all terms. So when we say natural hair care or natural hair, I
Mhm.
think we all know that even within families, hair textures are very different.
Mhm.
And with hair textures, and I'm talking about my folk from Africa, my folk from the Middle East, Mediterranean, people with, if you will, straight hair. There's somewhat of a struggle. And I think part of the struggle lies in the fact that we are required at some point to style for a presentation.
Mm.
Most of us, it's an occupational presentation. And so, coming from, I think, when we say natural hair and what the struggle would be, when the natural straight of your natural condition or texture of your hair
Mhm.
lends itself to being strong, textured, susceptible, let's say, to changing its texture, as many folks' hair is when it's exposed to moisture or heat or whatever. Well,
Mhm.
you can't really respond to that when you're in the middle of a meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so that was part of the struggle. It was more the professional life. I'm a big workout person.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, intense kind of 4-hour bike rides and that kind of thing. But I didn't care about that because that was more important. My hair was secondary. And so I needed a solution, though. And as I got older and in the professional world, and I started researching concerns for health. And I think we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
So the struggle was, oh, and let me give the listeners a little secret. Some might share this with me. I'm cheap.
Mm.
I'm not giving anybody $200, $300, $400 for hair or anything else that has to do. Beauty is health and health is beauty, and it's got to come naturally and not hurt my pocket. That's a
Mm.
credo of mine. So I also was looking around for what would be cost effective. And I did what a lot of people will do. Didn't find it. I got to create it.
Hmm. Your story is so real. You were balancing a demanding career, a fitness lifestyle, and the reality of natural hair care struggles. At what moment did you realize that you needed to create something different? And how did that idea turn into a full-blown brand?
Sure. So timing and technology, is kind of everything. So in the natural market days, let's say there are various natural supermarkets, they use that moniker as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go into the stores, and I'm a Black woman, and I would use products that were not necessarily designed for us. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big label reader on food and everything. So I'm reading these different oils and these things and whatever. And then I knew what kind of outcome I needed or outcome I wanted. I need to limit hair breakage. I needed something, it's fairly quick. In fact, so I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm reading, I'm learning, and I'm looking at these big companies again. You say we know all the names. I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
these people are smarter than me. This is, I mean, clearly you're on these shelves. And I'm like, I am mixing everybody's name products to try and come up with a solution. That just didn't work. I'd end up, and we've all gone through this. And again, like I say, this really, we focus on natural hair, and I'm a Black woman and I know my hair best, but I have heard the struggles from all types of limp hair, the heavy products, the this, the that. So I said, well, let me go. And I think this comes from some mother wit,
Mm-hmm.
that term.
Yes.
I well, what really cleanses? If I was just sitting in the forest, what cleanses? First one I knew about from reading about Cleopatra, milk.
Mm.
Milk is a cleanser. It says she bathed in it. The other one I knew about, which I started to use and use exclusively now on my skin, is honey. Right
Mm-hmm.
away, yeah, right away one would say, you put some milk and some honey, you're gonna have some problems in that head. So continuing down the research, and I'm a big reader and not afraid to do some things. My mother would watch me do this stuff, and she said, girl, one day you're gonna wake up and your hair gonna be on the pillow. Well, I just have to grow some more hair. Um, and so yeah, the liquid parts of those, sometimes you can use milk, honey, and if you're willing to mix. Make a long story longer, I came across powders.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, powders. Maybe if you mix it with this, mix it with that. Through some years, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
very honest with you, it was not overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Put together formulation, dry powder. The powder is a mix of the milks and the powdered honey, um, different types of milks, different types of herbs. Everything is a food grade base. I wouldn't eat it. Don't do that. But when mixed with water, it becomes a non toxic shampoo. Doesn't lather, but cleans the hair and scalp and gives, as I get the feedback from various customers, a very light feel to the hair, easy to comb, quick, particularly for kinky, coily hair.
Mm-hmm.
Get you out the door. And the second product is a flax gel based leave in conditioner. Many are familiar with the flax gel. And I began added a couple of things to make it more of a conditioning, light styling tool. And yeah, that got me to my journey, that I had to come up with something that worked for me. And I thought, well, if it works for me, it might work for others. And here
Mm-hmm.
we are.
And here we are. If you're just joining me, I'm your host, Tameka Harris Live. This is another episode of What's Going On with SwagHer Magazine. I'm speaking to CEO and founder of Coiff hair care products. Her name is Holland Strong. She's a Black woman. And she's out here not just looking at um, the struggle or certain problems in the world as it relates to natural hair care, but she's here to solve and create solutions. So that's what we're here to do, is talk to her a little bit more about her products and her business. And we see new natural hair care brands pop up every single day, but Coiff isn't just here to add to the noise, it's here to simplify the game. What makes your system different, and how does it redefine how we think about hair care? Holland. Well, Holland, are you with us? All right, let's see if Holland is still with us. You know how this technology does. So we are going to just check in real quick to see if Holland is still with us here. My SwagHer Magazine team is also in the chat, sharing with you the Coiff IG page. We are sharing the Coiff website. We are also sharing some other links and opportunities for you to connect with not only myself and my guest, who is going to log back on in just a second, but also the SwagHer Magazine community. You would want to make sure that you are a part of all the things that SwagHer Magazine has going on. You can visit our website. If the team can drop the SwagHer Magazine website in the chat as well, that would be great. We want to connect with you. We want to make sure that every Black woman-owned business in particular is amplified, that their message is shared, and that their products are looked into, so that we can make sure that we can make more well-informed decisions and support each other as our dollar, as you know, continues to climb and go around and around. So I'm going to bring Miss Holland Strong back onto stage. Holland, you with me?
I am. I'm sorry. Some, connections, technical.
Hey, listen, we understand what game we're playing here. We're in the technology business, so things do happen. But I was saying before that we see a new natural hair care brand pop up every day. But Coiff isn't here to just add to the noise, Holland. It's here to simplify the game. What makes your system different, and how does it redefine how we think about hair care?
Sure, that's a great question. It's kind of the core essence of the brand. So again, I'm a little bit different, not knocking anybody's game. Roll how you roll. I'm not a I'm a very natural. It's not just the hair. I'm not a big makeup person. I'm not a busy. So for me, the shampoo, a tablespoon, and 2 cups of water, one or
Mhm.
two, depending on hair length or whatever, in the shower, rinse it in. Don't have to scrub. Don't have to do a second shampoo. Rinse it out the shower. I apply a little olive oil to my damp hair after I towel dry it. Some people may not need to or want to do that step. I brush out the few tangles that I might have. And then I'm a ponytail girl.
Mhm.
I pull up in a ponytail and I hit the stick shift in the car and I'm gone.
Listen, out the door.
Out the door. I apply a little of the conditioner, and then I'm a twist. I'll grab my hair and put it on top of my head and twist it. And when I pull that big bun out, however it looks, I'm good. That's
So that's interesting. In a day when society is telling us more is more, you're saying less is more.
Right. I don't, as I say now, everything will not work for everybody or every texture of hair. Or let's be honest, everyone's desired look. I'm not a curl focused girl. I'm a ponytail and loose waves or whatever the bird does when it lands on my head. I just don't care. Now, for other people, if you want curls or whatever, I know there's some great products and you do the curls and that's great. The conditioner, again, little bit goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to pull up a ponytail, you want to spritz it and do twists, you want to do braids. The other thing I really emphasize with this two product system, for me, you never have to use heat. I have not had a blow dryer, a curling iron, or heaven forbid, that implement of torture, that straightening comb in my hair. I'm not going to say how many years, but it's been years. And again, it just doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So this system is designed for men, for women, for children. The
Mm-hmm.
conditioner is a great beard conditioner for men, I've been told. But if you are a person who really wants to wash, rinse, towel dry, pull up a pony, or if you got like that, leave your hair loose, get out the door, a little bit damp, apply a little conditioner and go. That's what this product is really designed for. And what I love about that too, no extra conditioners, no curl creams,
Mm-hmm.
no clarifiers. With each one of those, you can say cha-ching, cha-ching,
We
cha-ching.
cut down the clutter.
You cut down the clutter and the cost. And again, let me be, this is real important to me in
Mm-hmm.
making my product. Considering myself a businesswoman, and we say women support women and we support and whatever, I am not at all knocking those brands
Absolutely.
and the people that use and feel they want to have those layers of brands and choices. Support 100%. I'm just offering something else for the consumer who's looking for something else. And
Yes.
for the consumer, and we'll get on this, if you really are into non-toxic,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
read the ingredients and it's egg yolk powder and milks and honeys and again different teas, chamomile and different things. I've been told that there is nothing in either that will harm the skin or scalp. Somebody will always get irritated by something. But
Mm-hmm.
that's important. When I say health is beauty and beauty is health born out of this natural space, I really like to focus on that as well. As we know, the words about the relaxers and the research and how that can potentially cause harm. Again,
Yeah.
this is something else in the space that avoids that.
Yeah, my journey personally is brand new into going green, non-toxic. I didn't realize until very recently, like January, right,
Mm,
how many potential carcinogens and particles that can cause disruptors like endocrine disruptors, your hormone imbalance,
yep.
that are in the products that we use, in the foods that we eat every
Yep.
single day. And this is pretty much a disruptive conversation. So we're going to get a little disruptive now
Okay.
because, I know people have their brands and we will not mention any.
Mm,
Okay. Because there's a very fine line in this conversation.
yes, ma'am.
But I myself am using a app to scan my foods and my lotions and my cosmetics and my hair thing, right?
Good for you.
Tools and things because I've personally come into some, I would say, some health challenges, if you will, that just kind of seem to come out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we wonder why people get cancers and stuff and they never smoked or things like that. Again, this is a very disruptive conversation that we're having right now.
Yeah.
And my hypothesis is a combination of things, right? And a combination of those things over time. Some of the lotions, the soaps, you really have to do your due diligence and your homework to know what's really in these things. And so beyond the beauty, I want to move into this health first approach. Coiff stands on the belief that health is beauty and beauty is health. You've been hearing Holland Strong say this all interview. We talk a lot about styling, but we don't always talk about what's in the products we're using. Why was it important for you to create something with natural, non-toxic ingredients? And what do people not realize about the dangers lurking in mainstream products?
It was important to me, I think, again, coming from a group of women, my mom, my aunts and folk, it wasn't makeup and different things was not a real part of how I grew up. Of course, my mom went to the store and we had the various bottle of lotion, whatever the discount store was selling, sitting on the table. It really started with me. You get to be, grown, as they say, and you go on and picking up. I don't have extremely dry skin, but it's dry enough. And I put on lotion and it didn't really work for me. Okay. I came across coconut oil. I'm born in the Midwest, so I didn't grow up using coconut oil. So coconut oil, you browse in the aisles. Oh, I like the way this smells. And it just made sense to me that when you turn over and you look at the label, now you got to watch how it's refined. We can go deep. We can go deep, but you pick up a bottle of, in my case, a tub of coconut oil. Like, I like the way this smells. And man, I really like the way it feels.
Yeah.
Started me on the notion, down the aisle. I have friends that laugh at me. I carry a little bottle in my purse. It's a mixture of olive and coconut and avocado, little dash of honey. I probably put that on my face about 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay.
That's my makeup. That's it.
I love it.
So yeah, this has been a thing with me. And I had a quick story. A girlfriend was a salesperson. Love her to death. And we're sitting at lunch and she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to get my nail tips and my tip tips and my clip tips and my tipped hair and whatnot. I said, oh, okay. And we have those girlfriends. I've known her for years. She said, you really should come with me. She said, just a little lipstick and just a little, I said, I love you. I said, but would you come with me and strip everything off and do a 5-mile run? And she said, no. I said, okay, so we love each other. We're good. I'm not going to go get tipped up. I can give you reasons why I won't. And you give me reasons why you're not going to strip down. It was so professional. Hold that word. Look, it's not professional. I concede as defined by. I said, but it's more important for me to always be consistently true to my core and how I appear and present in the world. And trust me, it was a bit of a fight at times. But I'm still here appearing this way in the world. And that's the end of that story.
I love it. So
and that's how it be. Yeah.
Words that come to mind when you were sharing that was how we can sometimes assimilate or conform. And then another word that came to me while you were speaking was transformation. And I don't know if it was revolution or a different R word that came to my mind when you were just talking, but certain words were just bubbling up, right?
Yeah.
Where I don't
Oh,
really have a direction for these words. It's just that they just presented themselves to me while you
well,
were talking about.
what about compromise? Because
Yeah.
I always thought about the compromise. I have never had, and I've worn lipstick and the eyeshadow, very pretty stuff.
Mhm, mhm.
But I've never sat in front of a spreadsheet trying to do an analysis and the lipstick empowered my thought process. It just didn't work for me.
Wow.
So I can elect to do that,
Mhm.
but what am I compromising? And it was important to me, my professionalism should appear and manifest itself in how I move, how I treat others, the work
Mhm.
product. I'm a realist. I got
Yeah.
it. When people approach you, they make a judgment, and you got 1 second to get that. But if you take a minute, I'm solid. I'm solid to the core. You're solid to
Yeah.
the core.
Yeah.
I'm seeing, I see past an outer appearance. And then once you get into someone's world and engage, like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I
What I
get it.
what I get from you, Holland, is that I think there's a real lesson if someone is really tuned in and listening here. Um, that and I don't know how quite to articulate it, but I feel it more than the words right now,
Mm-hmm.
is that we are at our core and at our raw estate powerful beings without adding on, conforming to the standards of society, that can be a choice if we desire,
Mm-hmm.
desire for that, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be our our north star or our compass. Like, we already are phenomenal beings just as we are.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the core message that I'm getting from this is that, the way you decide to live your life um is as pure and as clean as and as close to the earth as possible, right?
I
And
try.
there's a lot of appreciation that can happen with that
Yeah.
way
Well,
of life.
so
Mhm.
I wanna throw this in because I want to marry, as you say, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but the little tidbits. A real goal is to reach our young people. This is mostly going to be young women because the hair, tends
Yeah.
to be. But I say health is beauty, beauty is health. Let me give the correct uh, attribution as Andre Leon Talley, the late
Mhm.
Andre Leon Talley.
The
I do
late
not
great.
late great. And I will say again, as much as I am a natural whatever, I am a fashion and a shoe and a purse and a coat and a what. So I came across him. Now I do it at the thrift market because I'm cheap. Remember, we had that conversation, but still love it. But with our young women, and again, we can go across race if we want to and everything else. But our young women will be the ones who decide what's used in the home.
Mm.
Our young women will give birth, in particular in the African American community and maybe the Latinos and the black and brown. This is a fact. Young women will avoid participation in healthy and sport activities because they don't want to have to deal with their hair.
Mm.
To me, that is a crime. I'm working with some folk in the swim community to try and combat that, where the Coiff product can be low cost, quick, get you in and out, trying to get that message. So the social impact, along with being stripped down and trying to be as clean, I really would like to infuse that message that you run your hair doesn't run you. And health
Yeah.
is the foundation. So you got to pay a lot to get a braid style. You don't have the money. This is another product. Sure, I'd like to see it all over. Or you can run in the store. Let me grab a little bit of that. because I'm getting ready to go here. I'm getting ready to go to the Bahamas. I don't feel like da. I got this. I know I can go swim. I can go horseback, do whatever. Rinse this through my hair, and I'm good. And my health is good. And I'm participating and I'm rolling. And I got $20 extra in my pocket because I didn't have to buy this whole array of things. Kind of a mixed message, but that's a real grounding one for me, is the health. Young ladies in particular, not avoiding living. Oh, and wash day. Wash day. Really? 6 hours? No, I got things to do. Missing out on too much. So that's along with, it's not just quick and it's not just easy. That feeds into saving money, participating, and lowering the ingestion through your skin, scalp, and whatever of toxic materials.
Yeah, lowering your toxic load. That is a journey that I'm currently on, and it's a real journey. It's an eye opener, for sure. If you're just joining me, I'm Tameka Harris Live. I'm your host today, and this is what's going on with SwagHer Magazine. Our guest today is CEO and founder of Coiff Natural Hair Care, Holland Strong, and we're just talking to her about her journey as an entrepreneur. Some more disruptive topics like going green and non-toxic in your hair care journey. As well as just understanding more about her product, natural hair care line, Coiff. I want to talk now, Holland. I'm gonna switch the conversation towards the traction alopecia epidemic.
Yes.
How styles are costing us our hair. Again, this is disruptive conversation. We'll get out of this in a little bit, but it's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit for some folks.
Yes, ma'am.
Protective styles are meant to protect. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Protective styles are meant to protect, but in reality, we're seeing so many people, especially Black women, deal with traction alopecia from braids, weaves, and tight styling and other types of styles. What do we need to do, or what do we need to be doing differently, rather, to actually protect our hair and scalp?
Sure. Now, I always like to have the disclaimers. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not an MD. I'm an experiential person. All of us who have hair and have dealt with it. So a protective style, and I love that we have this whole dictionary of definitions around natural hair, particularly in the Black and brown community.
Yeah.
Protective style is one where you just don't have to manipulate your hair a lot. And that can be a ponytail, braid, twist out, whatever. The traction, my understanding, the traction alopecia comes from any style, and it can be a ponytail. How tightly you're pulling the hair, especially around the edges, as we'll say, maybe in the back, and the hair follicle. Each and every strand of hair has a follicle that goes into the scalp. Once pulled often enough, and I may be wrong about this, it will not grow back. And you just talk about bald spots. I don't know braiding and weaving. I know there are different types. And God love these young girls. The YouTube, they have the knotless and the this and the that. So I understand everything does
a
not.
lot to choose from.
A lot to choose from. But the traction alopecia can certainly come from the tightness and whatever. It may come from other sources as well. But the traction, I understand it. So again, with being able to easily wet comb the hair, that's one of the really big things. And then the idea, and I hear people talking about stretching the hair. So you're stretching it to kind of get it in a ponytail to lay flat or whatever. With my product, with both the shampoo, because you really got to start with a good base. You
Mm-hmm.
really don't have a lot of tangles. A little olive oil, a little whatever oil in most hair textures. You don't have to pull it that tightly. Now that's a choice. So let's again talk about these compromises. Because if I'm pulling my hair so tightly, so I have this very sleek ponytail, it's going to be sleek enough for me, but you need that. Do you really need that? Also, edges. Again, as you say, a little bit uncomfortable. Um, I wasn't born with flat, smooth edges around my hair. I have no goal or desire for them to be. And so I'm not doing a lot of manipulation or putting heat or whatever on my edges. So I think we have to learn to be very gentle and careful with our skin and our hair,
Mm-hmm.
skin and scalp. So I've heard of that term. I've researched it. I've read a great deal about it. I think it's a very real thing. I think my product might help to combat that. But for anyone suffering from any condition, please turn to a professional.
Yeah.
Please turn to a professional. They will be able to tell you whether or not it's something past a styling issue. But I do know that the tight styles and the need to again pull the hair straight. I know anyone who has used both the Coiff shampoo and conditioner quickly learn how soft and easy your hair is to manipulate as opposed to other products. And again,
Mm-hmm.
not needing to use the heat. So you're cutting down on one source that adds to that traction and tension because we all know if we've had a blowout, it's the straightening and the pulling with the blow
Mm-hmm.
dryer. So that's as much as I know about it. Thank you for that. I say I'm not an expert, but
Yeah.
that's as much as I know. And it's how I think the two products can help.
For sure. We're speaking from experience. And is there anything else you would want to add to the disruptive conversation before we close that portion of our conversation today?
No, I think we touched on most of it.
Yeah.
It's timely, and I'm glad that these issues are being surfaced. I've used relaxers
Mhm.
before in my life, many, many, many years ago. And so if we think about the layers of what we use, from bath soap of whatever your choice, moisturizer,
Mhm.
various makeup, detergents to clean our
Yeah.
clothes, wash.
All of it.
You're not going to eliminate all of it, but
Mhm.
I think, as you say, lessen that toxic load. So
Yeah.
yeah,
My
think
hair, yeah, my hairstylist and I are going through that now. Finding products that are lower in ammonia,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
the gamut, right? Like what's really in these things and what are my choices, whether
hmm
that's shorter time that it's on my scalp or, there's probably going to be some sort of compromise, how many times I get colored, things like that. But all of these things, and I've realized too how the Black community in particular has been pretty much hit hard with all of this chemical exposure.
hmm
Um, it's a conversation that needs to be had, and glad
Now,
to be having
now,
it with you today.
yeah, now we can bring you on over to the coif do world now. Don't be shy.
Listen, I mean, we love a good time. So, we're wrapping up today's conversation. I just have a few more questions for you. This next question is a timeline question. Like, why now? Why the urgency of now for Coif Do? You could have created this product at any time, but you chose now. Why was launching Coif Do, natural hair care in today's climate, so important? And what's your message to people who are still struggling with their hair journey?
Sure. Like so many things in life, you plan and God laughs. The timing certainly was not my choice. The path to experimentation, and anybody who's done and been in any side of the business world we haven't talked about that whole part. Both my the shampoo formulation and the conditioner, I hold patents on both of those.
Mm. Ownership.
Yeah, that was no walk in the park from a monetary standpoint to a time standpoint. So that was a big step along with the development. After the development, where I'm still in, I like to call it marketing hell because that's what it is. It is not easy to ramp up from a guerrilla marketing standpoint. So that has been a process. And this interview is part of that process to raise the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'd have had X number of dollars and connections and what, it probably would have been done sooner. The timing of now is just how the step by step process came to be. I can't even remember how long I've had the thought for a long time. And then you're in your kitchen and your
Mm-hmm.
I says, "Oh, what'd you do to your hair? Oh, I like, oh." I said, "Well, I did the, oh, give me, okay, let me give you, you know how you go, oh, let me give you a," I go, well, I could give it away to everybody. Why don't I try it as a business? And the technological changes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to a conference, women's conference, business conference. It was a minute ago. And doing your website and getting online or whatever, the cheapest package, because somebody would do it for, because you had to program your website. Again,
Yeah.
time here. The cheapest package was like $15,000.
When you had webmasters.
Oh, hey, I built my website. Yeah, I'm that girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
May not be the best. We're
The
working
days
on
before Wix.
it. Hey, I built and put together. So again, that's why the launch officially is now.
Well, congratulations to you. I know launching anything is like birthing something, and
Oh,
that birth process is not easy for anyone who, especially if you're new to entrepreneurship, or did not have as many models in your bloodline about entrepreneurship and enterprising.
yes.
Can be a feat in and of itself, believing in yourself that you can bet on yourself to do this and
Yes,
birth this
ma'am.
into the world and contribute to an already seemingly saturated industry, finding your own voice, your own print, um, and the clients and customers who are going to grab it off of the shelf. All of that is such a task for any one person to do. So kudos to you. Entrepreneurship should have an award ceremony just for itself, but kudos to you. If you didn't hear it from anyone else, you heard it from SwagHer Magazine. Now, a few more questions. Let's talk about the future. And if there are any exclusive insights that you want to drop on us, we love a good exclusive here at SwagHer Magazine, okay? But here's my question. Holland, where do you see natural hair care, right? Where do you see natural hair care going in the next 5 to 10 years? And what do you want to see shift in how people approach their hair health and routines? Holland, are you there? Okay, well, we are going through another little technological glitch, and that's all right. We're going to wait patiently for Holland to hop back in the room. Definitely go ahead and take advantage of all of those links that are in the chat. Jarmel is standing by, our swagger team leader. As strong as she is, giving you all of the wonderful websites to Coiff do. You can follow Coiff do at www.coiffdew.com. That's Coiff, COIFFDEW.com. One of the reasons why today's conversation, at least for me, is super important is because, as I have mentioned, I'm going on my own personal journey into greener pastures low toxic to no toxic products throughout my home, um, products that I grew up on. You'd be surprised what's in a lot of the things that we eat and we wear, we put on our skin. And so this conversation is very important because I think what it highlights is that there can be another way that we go about caring for ourselves, offering ourselves a solution that may be different than mainstream. You'd be surprised the kinds of particles that are in the things that we use every day. And I've been using a friend sent to me a um, an app, and I can share that app if you guys want the app. I'm gonna share it later. If you want the app, just go and put app in the chat. I'm gonna see if you're following with me. And I'll share the app later. If I see anybody that puts the word app in the chat, you can go around in a store and just kind of scan items. Now, it doesn't have access to all the items that you probably use in your own daily life, but it's just one of probably many, many apps that are out there that give you information to the kind of additives and what those additives are doing, perhaps in your body or on your body long term, if used long term or over a longer period of time. So, with
Right.
that, Holland Strong is back, honey. We are battling these good old technological glitches
Got
every
it.
step of the way. She's joining us via audio today.
Yeah, please,
Um,
please do send that. I want to give kudos to you. Please do send that app, and
yes.
also anyone just for food, the FDA site. Oh, Lisa did before 2025, but let's just go with it. It gave you a sort of tutorial on reading food labels. If you got an app for the products,
Yeah.
uh, skin and scalp and whatever, and know, as they say, natural. And I don't have a better vocabulary, but natural. Let me remind people, peyote mushrooms are natural. Natural does not mean innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
When someone lists organic
Mm-hmm.
on their product, and I kind of looked this stuff up, there's a certain qualification for products to be organic and for ingredients to be organic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at and working with a group now where none of the ingredients that I use are tested on animals.
Right.
All of these are very specific designations,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of folk who can and do use it as marketing.
Yes. We've seen that too.
So kudos to you for offering that app. And I tell anybody with my product, with anybody's products, I am a marketer, but I very much am concerned because I made this for me. Let's start with that. So I don't want to harm or hurt myself or anyone else, but get educated.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
educated. Be very aware. There are many products that will throw in some shea butter and some olive oil and and the rest of the list,
Yeah.
you know?
It might seem fine, but underneath the
Yeah.
surface, there are some there are some contributing elements and ingredients that can cause some
Yeah.
disruption and or harm
Yeah.
used over time. So that's a larger conversation,
Yes,
probably for
ma'am.
another day. We're gonna have
Yes,
to have you
ma'am.
back, Miss Holland, so that we can definitely dig into the things. But I don't know if you answered my last question or if the glitch happened right after I asked, but
Sure.
where do you see natural hair care going in the next 5 to 10 years? Did you answer that one?
I did not. I didn't hear.
Okay. Okay, so here's the question. Where do you see natural hair care going in the next 5 to 10 years? And what do you want to see shift in how people approach their hair, health, and routines?
Sure. So, in my humble opinion, as someone who's kind of seen it go from the Afro days.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, the women, I'm seeing men come into this space now in ways they haven't before. As people advance to an older age, I have
Mm-hmm.
gray strands, doesn't bother me, but that's a real thing for a lot of people. So
Mm-hmm.
when we say natural, it's a very broad catch all um, area. So where it's come from and where I see it going is people becoming more aware and less willing to compromise. Maybe it's just style. That's fine. Your style, again, how you present to the world is important. Maybe it is health. Maybe it is environment. My products, again, they're food grade. They won't hurt the earth. That is
Mm-hmm.
a very big thing for some folk. I'm just very happy that where I think it's going, and I read the reports of the different marketers and everything, there is a very strong shift and focus on ingredients. And I think that's just going to continue. And the continuance again for hair, okay, I don't really separate hair, skin, and scalp.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
continuance is to do less harm
Right.
because why would you?
Mm-hmm.
And as I say, as it's women and men and then families, many, many focus. We know the names of the various baby companies where parents are looking at not starting with the various harmful ingredients. So I see this continuing. I
Yeah.
see people wanting to
We're
do,
waking up.
yeah, with less of the, I don't know, as you say, with food. I don't like it with food. I don't like it with products.
Yeah.
I want a hamburger. Why I got 68 things in my hamburger?
Right. Right.
I just don't get it.
Capitalism.
Oh no, that would be it. Okay, I'm sorry. That would be it.
Capitalism. That's it.
That would, that, and
This
right.
this assembly line to get us on drugs and medication, pharmaceutical. But again,
Oh,
disruptive
no.
conversation.
No, no, no.
Disruption.
No, no, no. Yeah, I will be back for that. I'll be on a panel. Well, we can do that conversation because it's
Yeah, we need to
a
do a
real thing.
private. We need to do a private room conversation. SwagHer Magazine. Let's do a private Zoom room where we can really dig deep into that conversation for sure. Okay. So you've created a brand that's already making waves, but I know you're just getting started, Holland. What's next for Coiff Do? Any expansions, new products, or exclusive drops that we can get the inside scoop on?
I'm not planning. I'm always thinking about new products. Not planning at this time. My knees and my elbows and everything's skinned up enough just doing this. Uh, Hoping to get into, I mean, we all currently, I'm not one to sugarcoat anything. Timing and stuff is everything.
Yeah.
We all know that the big box stores have made some decisions,
Yes.
particularly around products made by people of color. So I
Mhm.
don't know that that's still a destination. Of course, it was.
Mm.
So I'm looking to have alternatives to that. I may be in some of those spaces. We'll see how that goes.
And we'll support you.
But that's thank you, and that's
Yeah.
that's where we are. But you can get me at the website, and I think again from a strategy standpoint, as many of us have been told, you
Mhm.
need ownership.
Mhm.
For my business
Mhm.
entrepreneur people, my SwagHer Magazine folk, and everybody, you own this.
Yeah.
Ownership is important. I own my website. So you can always catch the products at my website. I don't see that ending. But yeah, to be on a platform visible where
Mhm.
people already have accounts and things, it's advantageous. I, like you, we don't know where any of this is going to finally land.
Yeah. But
So look for me to come back and maybe, touch base with you guys and make some more announcements about new drops and things. But until then, www.coiffdew.com. Shop site.
That's good. Again, that's www.coiff, Coiff, dew.com. Now, the app that the folks want in the chat is called Yuka, Yuca. Yuka is the name of the app. It looks like the icon for it looks like a carrot. And so the app again, the app's name is Yuka, Yuka. And you can use that in pretty much on anything. You could scan the products that are currently in your house and see what the score is. You do have to be kind of careful. So, like if you're scanning ice cream, it's going to say it's for some ice creams, it's going to say it's really bad. But you have to look at the scan and what it's actually saying. Is it saying that the calories and the sugar and all of that is bad? Or is it actually saying there are some disruptive additives in there? So just, again, this is causing us to be more involved in what we eat, wear, drink, all of the things, right? And so, yes, it's more effort on the front end, but I think the reward on the back end is that we get to live lives that are more well-informed and more ready for whatever life has in store for us. So, Holland, this has been an eye-opening conversation. Before we wrap up, please, again, tell the people where they can get their hands on Coiff Dew and stay connected with you via social media and join the new movement of hair freedom.
Sure. My Instagram is Coiff Dew, COIFFDEW. And the website is www.coiffdew.com.
Yes, we've been talking with Holland Strong. I love that name. I just feel like that's such a strong name. I love it.
There you go.
We've been talking to Holland Strong, founder and CEO of Coiff Dew Natural Hair Care. I am your host, Tameka Harris Live. Don't miss the next opportunity to connect with SwagHer Magazine for what's going on and all the other pieces of content that we have for you. Listen, visit us on our website. Get into our links and connect with us online. And as far as that goes, that's it for me today. Holland, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll connect with you on Instagram.
Thank you much. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
That's it for us. Goodbye.